Typical salary is $1,000 to $3,818 a day.
Do me a favor, please. Get out of here.
It's true.
In the next 10 minutes, I'll be sharing with you the top 12 work from home job always hiring. Be sure to watch until the end so that you will not miss the number one work from home job on this list.
Thank you.
Content writers are professionals who create content for web articles, blog posts, interviews, and the likes. The number one goal of content writers is to create content that help educate or entertain a website's audience, drives traffic to the website, ranks well on the search engine.
Okay.
Most content writing roles are work from a home position that requires zero work experience as long as you've got the right writing skills. To get a remote content writing job, you'll want to create an online writing portfolio that shows that while you lack work experience, you've got the writing skills to make up for it. As a content writer, you can work as either a full-time remote employee or as a freelancer. The typical salary for a content writer is $34,000 to $76,000 per year. Copywriting is a bit like content writing, but with some key differences. A content writer can create content for just about any type of purpose, for example, to educate, entertain, drive traffic, and so on. Copywriters, on the other hand, have but one goal: to drive revenue. As such, copywriters usually work on things like website copy, email marketing copy, ad copy, and so on. To become a remote copywriter, you're going to need a very strong writing skills, portfolio of content you have written in the past, some knowledge of how to write sales copy. If you've got all three, then you should be able to get a remote copywriting job with no experience. The typical salary range for a copywriter is $39,000 to $78,000 per year. A search engine evaluator analyzes results on search engines like Google or Bing and makes sure that the results they receive are accurate and relevant. This remote role does not require a lot of work experience as long as you possess the following qualifications: tech savviness and familiarity with search engines, good written or verbal communication skills, very basic knowledge of search engine optimization. The biggest employer for search engine evaluators are Appen and Bridge, so you can look up open vacancies directly on their website. The typical salary range for a search engine evaluator is $36,000 to $60,000 per year. Software engineering is another remote job that you can get with no experience. There are a ton of programming jobs online that ask for just two things: knowledge of a certain programming language and a desire to learn.
Thank you.
That being said, this job has much bigger barriers to entry than whatever else we have included in this list. While it is possible to get a remote coding job without any experience, you will still need to spend about 6 months to a year learning to program in your free time. If you're looking to get into software engineering, there are a ton of resources online to help you do so, such as Code Academy, Boot.dive, and Code.org. The typical salary range for a software engineer is $65,000 to $131,000 per year. Graphic design is another popular remote job that requires no experience. That is, as long as you have the skills for it. While the job does not require any experience, it does require you to have a rock-solid portfolio of any design work you've done in the past.
Okay.
Your portfolio can consist of graphics you have created as part of your university education, simple illustration you created in your free time, or anything in between. As long as you have an online portfolio of your past work, getting a remote job won't be too hard.
Yes!
To work as a remote graphic designer, you can either find a full-time remote role online, find freelancer role on Upwork, or list your services on Fiverr. The typical salary range for a graphic designer is $35,000 to $66,000 per year. A sales representative is another remote role you can get hired for even with zero work experience. The role involves communicating with prospects daily, and as such is perfect for all the extroverts out there. To become a sales representative, you need to have a very strong interpersonal skill. After all, your job involves convincing prospects to purchase your employer's goods or services. To do that effectively, you need to be good at both written and verbal communication. The typical salary range for a sales representative is $30,000 to $78,000 per year. The role of a social media manager involves managing a company's social media channel, such as Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and so on. As a social media manager, on a day-to-day basis, you will schedule social media posts across different platforms, collaborate with content writers or designers to create quality social media content, monitor different social media marketing campaigns, and ensure that you are meeting company goals.
Okay.
If you're familiar with most social media platforms, are creative, and have strong writing skills, then the role of social media manager is the right one for you.
Thank you very much.
The typical salary range for a social media manager is $36,000 to $81,000 per year. As a social media evaluator, your job is to evaluate content posted on social media and ensure that it follows specific guidelines. Depending on the employer, you might also be tasked with ensuring that the ads running on the platform hit certain criteria. You can get a social media evaluator job even if you have zero work experience, as long as you are tech savvy, have a decent grasp of English, and aren't afraid of hard work.
Yes!
Some social media evaluators hire workers from anywhere in the world, while others only hire employees based in the United States. The typical salary for a social media evaluator is $38,927 per year. Proofreaders are the people who get to review content before it's published on the web or offline. They are grammar's last line of defense, so to say. A proofreader meticulously reads through content, identifies grammars or spelling mistakes, and fixes them up. Companies that publish a lot of online content, such as media, large blogs, and the likes, are usually the one that requires the help of proofreaders. To become a proofreader, you're going to need a strong grasp of the English language and good attention to detail. Having a BA or MA in English, however, is of course going to help you get hired. The typical salary for a proofreader is $27,000 to $71,000 per year. Customer support representative provides email, phone, or chat support to a company's client.
Okay.
As long as you've got strong written and verbal communication skill, you can learn the remote customer support representative role even with no remote work experience. This role is great for job seekers who love communicating with people on a day-to-day basis and solving problems. One downside here though is that support roles usually have a very strict work schedule. For example, if a company clients are based in the US, you'll have to work US hours even if you're working from home in a different country. The typical salary for a support representative is $26,000 to $55,000 per year.
What?
Visual assistant or VA is another common remote job that requires no experience. Depending on the role, a VA can do a very wide variety of tasks such as administrative duties, making appointments, scheduling meetings, planning social events, and so on. Usually, companies that hire virtual assistants don't require any work experience from their candidates and teach all important skills on the job. This, however, does not mean that you do not need a specific skill set to get hired or do the job well. The essential skills for a visual assistant are attention to detail, organizational skills, multitasking, and tech savviness. The typical salary for a visual assistant is $21,000 to $60,000 per year. Tutoring is another great way to work remotely with no experience. If you have a great skill or knowledge about a particular subject, for example cooking, playing an instrument, or trading, you can convert these skills or knowledge into a course and start tutoring those in need of the knowledge or skill for a fee. Most tutoring jobs requires little to no work experience as long as you have a BA or MA in the subject you'd like to tutor in. Online tutors' typical salary is $1,000 to $3,818 a day, day or 22,000 to 84,000 US dollars per year.
Do me a favor, please. Get out of here. Get out of here, man. Shit, I'm saying.
It's true.
If you found value in this video, consider watching this next video popping on your screen now to learn even more ways to make money online as a work from home online entrepreneur.
So please, sarapakarai.